start off today with a real talk moment. How often do you say to yourself, I'll start tomorrow? Whether it's hitting the gym, eating healthier, launching a side hustle, or finally just maybe cleaning up that chaotic email inbox, right? Tomorrow feels like a safe option. And unfortunately, tomorrow it's basically a sneaky procrastinator's best friend, I would say. The truth is that success isn't a someday thing. It's a daily commitment to yourself, to you. And the not so secret weapon here is accountability. And no, it doesn't have to feel like a chore, but let's explore how we can make daily accountability work for you to be your secret weapon and to actually maybe enjoy it a little. I think deep down, we all know why accountability matters, right? If we can't be accountable to ourselves, then who can be accountable to us, right? And you know those players out there. You know those people, whether it's your family or it's your colleagues at work, that really are not accountable. And I think you would probably agree with me, it's not the most attractive trait either. But there's a ton of science behind accountability. Accountability increases the likelihood of your success by 95%. Yep, you heard that right. According to a study by the American Society of Training and Development, setting a specific goal and having maybe a buddy or someone to check in with, it can skyrocket your level of success by 95% and the odds of following through. So I thought that was really interesting. Writing your goals down also boosts your commitment by 42%, says a study published by Psychology Science. And it's like a brain hack to take your intentions seriously. I know that for many years, probably most of my adult life, I've just been in a wing it mindset when it comes to goals. And I found that by writing these things down, as I'm reading about all of the science and the importance of it, yeah, it really doesn't matter. It really makes a difference in the direction and the success of your goals. So maybe consider writing some of your things down. And it doesn't have to be a big list. It could be maybe 1 to 5 things, but write it down. Even make some pictures if that's helpful for you to, strive towards something greater. And I kind of look at accountability in being in 5 pillars. So the first pillar is set those micro goals. So I know in a lot of my videos, I always say start small, but it's really the catalyst for doing something more. Big goals are awesome, but sometimes they feel so overwhelming, don't they? Instead, break them down into some bite-sized daily actions. For example, if you want to read 12 books this year, if that's going to be your goal because you really want to get on track with leaders that are reading, it's just 10 pages a day. So that should be easy peasy. And even if you're a slow reader, set aside time, maybe 20-30 minutes a day, and just make it happen. A fun fact here is that the average adult reads 200 to 250 words per minute. So that's about 10 minutes of reading a day. So cut down your time. Maybe it could be 10 minutes a day just to get those 10 pages in. And a second pillar is buddying up. So I know some people are very independent thinkers. I'm kind of that way. I just make a decision and go, while others really need a bit of a support mechanism. So accountability buddies aren't just for going to the gym and making that happen. They're your cheerleader, they're your coach, and occasionally maybe your drill sergeant sometimes. Pick someone that you can trust that will be honest with you. I know I have a lot of friends that they're so afraid of hurting somebody's feelings, and that's not the buddy that you want. Sometimes you want your feelings hurt because you're really not progressing like you should. So if you can't find someone local that could really fit that niche, there's apps out there, believe it or not, I found that interesting, that can connect you with like-minded goal-getters. So who would have thought, right? Who would have thought that we can find someone to support us in an app? here we are, right? 2024. So a third pillar is those morning accountability hacks. I find this the most powerful because I feel like if I just have things crushed in the morning, I'm crushing the elephant and I'm getting stuff moving and I have progress, that feeling of progress in my mind. So you might want to journal it out. Spend 5 minutes each morning writing your top 3 goals. And maybe setting some accountability alarms. So set some alarms, even if it's something on your phone daily, on the must-dos and those important tasks that are associated with those 3 goals. And no snoozing allowed here. Make sure it happens. And if you're a person who needs the pressure, consider that public declaration of your goals. So you might want to go public with your plans. Share it on social media or start a blog or a newsletter just to tell the group what you're up to. According to a Cornell University study, people who made their goals public saw 33% more likelihood to achieve them. So I thought that was interesting. Now, for me, I don't necessarily agree with this. So the reason is because there's so many people that are all talk and no action. You know who they are, right? Maybe it's even you. So even if they get the word out, if they don't have someone holding them accountable, or they're not able to hold themselves accountable, they don't achieve anything. You know the people out there. I think I definitely was one of those people that was talking about all my goals and things I wanted to do, yet I wasn't acting on them. And I didn't have anybody to call me out. So I'm also a person who keeps my goals and the things that I want to do, I don't know, I want to say like close to the chest. Because everyone has an opinion or a judgment sometimes. So I'm sure you would agree with that. Don't you have some goals sometimes you might tell your spouse or your significant other or even maybe a close friend, and they're like looking at you like cross-eyed, like you're so weird, and then you don't go after it because you feel that pressure, you feel that judgment. Don't you agree? Some people will kill your dreams before you even tried. And then you have their opinion stuck in your head with those crazy thoughts. I mean, we already have a lot of negative thoughts that come into our head. And sometimes that's all it takes to really kill our dreams, right? A fourth pillar is tracking everything. Now, I do this probably a little too much, but I track everything. I feel like it helps me to feel like I'm moving forward. But you could use tools like Notion or Trello, or even a good paper journal. And you can see your progress and it builds momentum. Did you know that tracking habits visually on a piece of paper, as simple as that, like checking off a calendar even, it creates a dopamine hit. And that's your brain's reward center that is rewarding you for just being awesome. The fifth pillar is let's celebrate the small wins. We can't go through life just constantly striving and grinding and not at the end of the day having that celebratory piece of cake or something that makes us feel like we have a win. No, you don't need to wait for the finish line to party. You really don't. You have to reward yourself on a regular basis because otherwise you won't accomplish anything because it just gets dull and boring. And frankly, you just get aggravated because you just don't feel like you're making progress or you're not getting to that finish line fast enough, right? I mean, how many of you look at your goals and you're like, why am I not where I want to be today? So if you make those small wins a priority, it may help you smooth over the rough times. So now you might ask, but what if I mess up? What if I fail? The classic fear of failure. But here's the deal. Messing up is not a sign to quit. I mess up all the time. And I used to quit a lot of things because I just felt like a failure. But when things don't go your way, even if it's a small percentage, it's a learning experience. And it's a chance to shift and adjust. So successful people fall into this failure category 2 times more often than those that give up over one try. So keep going. I mean, look at all the successful people. They didn't get there because everything went perfect. They got there because they stumbled and they fell and they took some significant risk. So keep going. So here's a fun challenge for you. Let's make this accountable. Pick one goal that you've been avoiding. Something, it could even be something big. Something that you've always wanted to do. And pick it, write it down, and break it into a daily action plan. Like, what can you do each day? Even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, what can you do each day to get there? And if you feel comfortable and you have the right support, share it with someone. Your accountability buddy, your dog, or even me. Yes, I'm here for you as well. Start today, not tomorrow, not Monday, but today. Small steps. Take 10 minutes right now after you watch this video and just write down what you want to do. Jot down a few things that you're thinking and then just keep coming back to it. Because you're not going to, in one fall swoop, in one session, be able to knock it out. Because it's just not humanly possible. So accountability isn't just about checking the box. It's really not. Even though it gives us that dopamine hit, it makes us feel like we're having progress. It's about building trust with yourself. Each day you show up, you're providing that accountability partner to yourself, and you're showing yourself, the man in the mirror, right? That you can count on yourself. And that's a game changer. You'll be unstoppable. And even starting with this one specific goal, showing yourself you're accountable, showing yourself that you can trust yourself, that's like a catalyst to so many other things. And then you can take that and move it and shift it towards so many other areas of your life that you want to improve, because you can do it. Now, over to you. What's the one thing that you are going to start holding yourself accountable for today? And something that is going to be your success factor in 2025 when you hit the end of the year and you say, I did it. What is the one thing that you're going to be so proud of yourself next holiday season that you made a commitment, you started, you trusted yourself, and you pulled it off? So I'd love to cheer you on. So let me know in the comments what you're up to. So here's to crushing your goals. If you found this content valuable, please consider subscribing. If you found it valuable to the point that you know people that it can benefit, please share it with your community and your friends and family members that might need that kick in the pants to move forward and to go towards their dreams and goals. So we'll see you on the next video.